Hey, what's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review, this time for Halloween Kills. It's a big one, guys, for the channel. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Michael Myers fan, though I thought that the timeline, the series, everything as a whole, it has been convoluted, to say the least. But this one is a continuation from the 2018 Blumhouse Halloween film that we did get, with Jamie Lee Curtis reprising her role as Laurie Strode. But before we do get into it, guys, make sure you're hitting that big thumbs up to like the video. It's the best way to support the channel. And make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe and bell notification to always get alerted about future content like this. Alright, now before I do get into it, once again, I'm going to let you guys know that this is a spoiler-free review. So if you guys have not seen the movie, do not fret. I'm just going to let you guys know vaguely my likes, my dislikes for a sequel in this trilogy that we are getting once again from Blumhouse. All right, so all that being said, the saga continues. This was a movie that was put on the back burner because of COVID-19. Not their fault, not the production studio's fault, not Blumhouse's fault. They did what they felt was necessary, and they delayed it almost exactly a year to the date of this release, guys. And did I think it was a good idea? If I'm being completely honest, I think the Michael Myers fandom kind of burned out after that first year. I think once we did see the 2018 version, we really wanted this next film as soon as humanly possible. That couldn't happen. I understand it, not knocking them for it, but I think it kind of fizzled out, even though there was so much promotion and hype. Hell, I was watching Chucky, this series, and they had a commercial with Chucky and Michael Myers. They were really trying to pump this into your brain that Halloween Kills was the next best thing. So we did see it on premiere night. The theater was packed, I will say that. So this movie does directly lead off to that 2018 version, which I did watch earlier today in preparation. And you know what? It's not in my top 3. It is in my top 5 for favorite Halloween movies in the franchise, even though it does follow a different timeline. Now, I will say, guys, that this is cool that this movie is being brought to us by, once again, the same directors and writers, as well as, I believe they said, Jamie Lee Curtis was an executive producer alongside the Blumhouse guys, and Danny McBride, who we know is a comedian, but he's also a writer on this and the first one. So yeah, I was getting ready for some chuckles along the way, because the first one, I keep saying the first one, and you guys are probably like, what do you mean, the 70s version? It's really hard to kind of talk about the 2018 one by just saying Halloween. So the 2018 version has all the people still attached. That's the cool part. That is the real cool part about this. Now, there was a lot of talk about them amping up the kills. Now, I do follow entertainment news religiously on a daily basis, and I think the fact that they announced so soon that this was going to be a trilogy really weakened my movie experience, because I knew, one, Michael was going to get away, so we saw him in the third one. Two, I could probably predict who was going to die, some of the characters that were going to die in this film. So knowing all of that, I will say once again, it did weaken my experience watching this. I think if we didn't know anything about this, if the internet did not exist, I would have a better time going into this, because I would be more surprised along the way. Now, flashing back to Halloween 2018, one thing that was extremely iconic about that film for me, that definitely put it in my top 5 in the Halloween franchise, was that iconic opening. You can't tell me that you didn't watch 2018's Halloween and say, good God, that was a crazy opening before the title sequence and the music that we heard. Everyone went crazy in the theaters when they heard that. I don't care what you say, whether you watch it at home, you guys know you love that intro. So the intro that we're introduced to, which I'm not going to give any spoilers, was cool. I will just say it gives us a little bit more backstory about a certain character. That's one big plus that I like. I found out a little more about the 1978 Halloween that I didn't know existed. I think they're just adding on to the lore a little bit, but it was awesome because we also got a surprise cameo, I will say, without alluding to spoilers, and that put a big smile on my face. It really set the movie off for something to be great. Now, the next positive about this film are, yes, the amped up kills. And that is just going to be subjective to the horror watcher. Some horror watchers just like to be thrilled and scared along the way. Some like a brutal kill fest. And that's exactly what this is. This is more in the vein of the Rob Zombie kills. I will say that. Halloween, Rob Zombie, the first one, not the second one. I feel like the second one just amped it up for brutal gore's sake. This was kind of in the middle. I definitely saw some kills that were Rob Zombie-esque. I will say that for sure. Now, I am a gore hound. I love seeing all that stuff. My girlfriend was with me. I could tell she doesn't like seeing that stuff. And some people were kind of cringing in the theater as well. That's totally fine. That's going to be subjective for anybody, really. So those are my positives. Now, as you can tell, I didn't have too many positives, right, guys? Because the negatives for Halloween Kills, oh my God, outweigh so much. So, yeah, I'll just jump to it, guys. This movie was so disappointing. It was a letdown. After the lights went on and the credits rolled, what did I say? I stood up and said, I waited 2 years for this shit? I could have waited a year. But because of damn COVID, they pushed it back again. Guys, this movie was not a good sequel to the 2018 version. This is once again just my opinions, my words. So if you guys have different thoughts, please leave them in the comments. I would love to hear them. But this one definitely suffered from sequelitis. This one did not have the same feel to me whatsoever of the 2018, even though everyone is attached behind the camera and in front of the camera. That was such the weird thing about it watching this, is that I really thought that I was going to have a good time seeing the 2018 previous. I thought it would just flow cohesively, and it did in the same night. Yeah, it follows the storyline in the same night, but the writing was ass. The characters were so over dramatic. There's a hospital scene that I thought they were going to pay homage to in Halloween 2 from the 80s. And oh my God, did they butcher that. They really tried to go for a whole different approach that had the whole theater. I couldn't see people around me what their reactions were, but I can only imagine it was like a snooze fest. It was so boring and dumb, and they really try to spin this hospital scenario a different way. I'm just going to say hospital scene. Huge chunk of the middle and towards the end. And that just really went nowhere, and it was so dumb, guys. And I got to jump to another disappointing aspect of this film, was bringing back some of our favorite characters from the original, guys. And damn, I did not like did not like them in this movie. I really didn't care for them in this movie. Granted, I know some of them from the actual original movie, because Tommy Doyle, that's a different actor. That's Anthony Hall, I believe his name is. He's an actual actor, you know, an astute actor. He's been in a lot of different projects. I just felt like some of the performances were very, very lacking. I thought Anthony Hall's performance was over the top. It was just very bizarre, too dramatic. You know, there was scenes where he's really trying to amp up the crowd and the mob to kill Michael Myers, and it's like, evil dies tonight, and they just kept repeating that, and it sounded, we were laughing in the theater. It was so comical, guys. It was not realistic whatsoever. I know we're talking about a fictional character of Michael Myers, but if you're gonna set a real life mob situation, this is not how people interact. This is not how people think. The mob totally overran the sheriff department. It felt like the sheriff department wasn't even there, where in the original, in the 70s, the sheriff and the cops had a huge part in helping to stop Michael, or get Michael with Dr. Loomis. So it was just a letdown and a big slap in the face to the original, I gotta say, guys. Even though this is a direct sequel off the 2018 one, even a slap in the face to that one. I did not like it. I saw so many things coming. It was very predictable. There were some parts that were extremely boring. They were so dumb. The only things that were really cool that I can really even kind of shimmy in there as a plus, Michael Myers. Michael Myers had the mannerisms of the shape. Yeah, I understand it's, I believe it's Nick Castle, the guy that is playing Michael Myers. And he definitely has the mannerisms of his walk. He has a very, very distinguishable walk where you say that is Michael Myers. And I'm so glad that they kind of kept that with that character, because he's probably the only guy that could play Michael Myers ever in life. Unlike a Jason where we've gotten multiple actors playing him. And just like in the 2018 and even like in the 1978 Halloween, Michael sets up people like props after he kills them. And they just kind of chalk it off. And that's something that's, you know, I can't nitpick at that because that's part of his characteristics. But they acknowledge it in the movie, saying that he's a creep and a psychopathic killer. And I thought that was extremely funny. That dialogue was good, because that's the best way to describe Michael in a nutshell, is that he's a creep. He creeps around and he kills people. That's what it is. And it's just part of his characteristics, you know, from the day that he snapped when he was a kid and just started, you know, he killed his older sister and just went on a killing spree after that. So I like some of the little characteristics to Michael, but other than that, everything was a disaster. I will not be watching this again. I will not be adding this to my collection. And I just really hope they can amp it up and give a good send-off in Halloween Ends. And once again, announcing that there was going to be a trilogy, I don't know why they think that hypes up us true Halloween fans so much. To me, it just leaves anticipation at the door. I have nothing. Now I have, at the end of this movie, I know Michael's going to get away. I know some of our main characters are going to die. What do I have to wait for other than another couple years to get the fucking end of this trilogy? That's it. That's all I have to wait for. And I know Jamie's gonna die. She has to end this series. So, that being said, guys, I did not have a good time with this movie, as you guys can tell. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And I'm gonna end it there by saying that Halloween Kills gets a 2 out of 5 from me, saying, even as a die-hard Halloween Michael Myers fan, this one was a cockadoodie in the series. And I don't even know where I'd rank it, but it's not in my top 5. All right, Flix Talkers, what did you guys think of my review? Let me know once again in the comments below. And if you guys did appreciate it, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. To like the video, it's the best way to support the channel, and it does spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe and bell notification today to get alerted about more future videos like this. All right, guys, till next one, I'm gone. Peace.